Suno was in a lawsuit with, I think, who was it? The Warner Music Company? Warner Music Group.
End of the day, these LLMs and these models need training data, right?
Yeah. The idea that your job is better done by you or a machine is going to start to become really not existent, but there will be then the jobs that the machine can't perform. My prediction is that people will be essentially will be working for AI.
Yeah. Sightbox, unbox, where we open the door.
Yo, welcome to the BoxPod, the BoxPod, season 3.
Yep.
Episode
2 or 3, 4?
2, 3, 4. Well, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah,
since we've recorded one.
that's right.
So, well, it was the holidays.
Yeah.
And then we just haven't got back to it.
And so.
In fact, we haven't even set up our tree. We keep...
Yeah, that's on me.
It's here, though. It's in a big body bag.
It is.
But it's all good. It's 80 degrees outside.
Beautiful out.
Classic Southern California weather.
It's chilly this morning,
You
but
know.
it's nice now.
Yeah, but it's good to be here. And dude, talk about changes coming with the kind of the new year rolling around, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like every year we have some kind of epiphany or something.
I feel the same way.
Right.
Yeah. And it's around this time, right? Like you're kind of looking at the end of the year.
Yeah.
See it in focus a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you want to change?
Clarity.
Clarity. Exactly.
Yeah. A little bit of weeding out or
Yeah.
cleaning house,
Yeah. Just cleaning up.
right?
But
So kind of excited about that.
yeah.
Kind of going more towards, I don't know, relationship, retainer, stewardship, right?
Mhm.
That's what we've been using
Yep.
moving forward versus one and done, which in this startup landscape, in this world, we want, you and I, we want to build this thing off relationships, and
Yeah.
we know what we get, what we got ourselves into with startups, but a lot of them are one and dones,
Mm-hmm.
they're one night stands, so to speak, and we want to date.
Yeah. We want to settle down a little bit. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
getting out of our we've sowed our wild oats,
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're kind of like,
It's been 5 years.
yeah.
5+ years
Yeah.
strong,
Yeah. We've been on Tinder
that.
for a long time now. Like,
Yeah.
It's time to,
Time to get off Hinge.
Yeah, Hinge and bring one home, like,
Wife them up.
put a ring on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of, and I think we sort of know now what to look for, what to avoid, and find what sort of aligns with who we are and what we want to do. So I feel more optimistic than ever.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited about the next year and what we're doing. So yeah, all good things, man.
All good things. But let's talk a little bit about our workflow, since we haven't talked about it in a minute, and
Let's do that.
things change, obviously, in this space. Seem to change week, on a week to week basis. Talk a little bit about the campaign stuff that we've been working on, some of the latest ad stuff, the Mid-Journey.
Yeah. Well, we've been working on some stuff for Clark Pacific recently.
Yep.
Is that the stuff you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just because even 6 months ago, a year, 9 months ago,
Yes.
it wouldn't have been as easy to produce some of the generative art
Yeah.
you produced.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've been using, honestly, it's some of that stuff was on a whim. We were
Yeah.
playing with Sora,
That's right. Yeah.
right? And we were kind of joking around doing stuff. And then we started playing around with like, oh, well, what about a commercial or a, fake commercial? And it came out, some of that stuff came out so good that you're like, okay, wait a minute, like this is doable. And so we started really kind of diving into that and really realized that this is something that was sort of, it we know it's going to be somewhat inevitable that this is going to sort of take place, but it felt like, for a long time, video has been, this thing that, we've dabbled in it, here and there, right? But it always requires sort of a high budget, high time frame to pull off. And so it's something that a lot of startups haven't been able to sort of fund. And so, but with these tools, all of a sudden now, like we can produce, really high quality work, And so it's kind of exciting to look into that stuff for our clients. So we've been doing some of that work, and then sort of leveraging some of our other tools. But again, like, the Nano Banana and stuff like this is sort of, it's making that world of generative video now just as accessible as generative images, sort of the way Midjourney did. So, it's all coming together. And, audio's kind of stepped up a bit too. Now they're doing 11 Labs is licensing voices. And there's a
Shout out to Zach. I mentioned this the other day. We had a client send over a video that needed to be edited, that had some cracking or some issues with it. And the client doesn't know. Like, hey, can you fix that? It's like, well, not exactly. You can't really remove, from the source audio if it's cracked or broken up, you can't really fix it, right?
Right.
Well, at least not today. Not easily. And I think what you did right was you went to 11 Labs and then recreated the speaker's voice.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Source audio.
Yeah.
And then regenerated the phrases that were broken in 11 Labs. Exported that audio and then edited it back into the video, and then had the mouth match.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Couldn't even tell.
That's close. So,
but that's today, right? You have to be a little savvy.
Sure.
Do that. Tomorrow, it's going to be built right in, right? Highlight, timeline, fix,
redub.
Yeah, redub, and it'll even fix the mouth, or whatever.
You remember seeing some of those clips? This might have even been a year ago. They showed these clips from these movies, and then they would have like this girl talking, and they create like a PG-13 version or a mature version of the same clip, and they would just change out they would change out the curse words, and stuff like that.
For made for TV.
Yeah. But it fixed their mouths, so they actually said fudge. And so
the lazy way was they would just cut to another frame,
right? Or they just dub over it, and you're like, you're like, okay, that's obviously was just re-recorded over. Doesn't even match. You're like, oh, that's funny. So, but yeah, it's
these tools are almost. They're almost there.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And then going along,
I think what impressed me about what you were doing with the ad campaign was the fact that one, you did some time lapse stuff.
Yeah,
that looked pretty darn accurate.
Yeah,
for the stuff they were trying to showcase. And then the other one was an overhead shot that just looked so symmetric. Right.
Yeah.
And then you were able to do all the editing within Midjourney. No Photoshop.
I didn't have to Photoshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could edit right there.
So this was, 5 years ago. Imagine you're spending days trying to get the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me...
If it was 5 years ago, we would have flown to wherever the hell this stuff is and shot it ourselves. That's what we used to do back in the day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember all those shoots in Colorado?
I used to go to Trimble and go shoot that stuff for real. Yeah. So, yeah, it's crazy the way you can do stuff. It is interesting, though, because we are sort of running into a little bit of this area because, our client has a lot of engineers on staff. And so they're looking at these images and they're like, well, that's not exactly our, double T truss, and so I'm having to kind of make it clear,
these abstract in a way.
Yes, these are just illustrative of.
Yeah, but who's on a? Do you see any product people when we're selling SaaS, when you have these fancy, mock-ups?
Yeah.
Of the tool, of the interface, we get some of that too, right? Where it's like, well, we want to make sure it portrays this feature,
a level of accuracy,
right? But it's not like, hey, that toggle. Doesn't look like that.
It's in the wrong place.
It's in the wrong place,
right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the mindset is different from software people and
Yeah. Well, it's just, it's too easy to say, well, it has to be perfect.
yeah.
And it can be, but you can't rely on AI for that. And we've kind of had this sort of this discussion with people before where it's like, this is, in some ways, it's like we're faking the power of like a full Industrial Light and Magic or Pixar. Like we're playing with pseudo tools that give people the impression that we have the full capabilities that those have, but we're not. And so you have to sort of be okay with about 80% of the way and then be like, okay, we got it, And so some of the work you do has to sort of have a little bit of abstraction to it, or at least let on to that. So that's sort of the middle ground too, is like, how do you make it clear that we're not trying to be literal? Because I think there are going to be some gray areas too. I've seen some stuff recently. I may have mentioned this last time on YouTube, like all these people offering tutorials on how to do fake testimonial videos for makeup and stuff. And, there's all this sort of stuff, where you're using the tool in a way to sort of, there's a little bit of deception happening. In marketing though, I think the key is you have to say that we're communicating something. I mean, I remember in automotive, it was so specific, and you'll see this now if you ever watch a commercial, is sometimes they'll say, they'll have a little legal line at the bottom that'll say like, 2026 model shown. Sometimes it'll say something like options unavailable or some options are unavailable. Or it'll have some disclaimer, because what ends up happening is they'll shoot this commercial 6 months before the car goes to market, right? And in the process of that commercial shoot, sometimes that car is not production ready. It didn't come off the assembly line. It came off of a different like handmade factory. Like there's only one of those cars, like that. And so when it finally goes to the showroom and to buy it, it might have a different fender, it might have a different spoiler, it might have a different accent here and there. And the car companies have to disclaim, they sort of realize legally, like they can't tell you that that's the 2026 whatever. They have to say, okay, it's sort of like it, And so I can see there being some sort of thing where that happens here as well, where they're like, or you'll see commercials and be like, not, a paid actor or representing a real customer, right? And some of this stuff I think is going to require a little of that, because people are going to get deceived.
For sure.
And people are going to have to come in and say, okay, well, that's not legal. And so some lawsuits are probably going to set that. So they were in this lawsuit, and Sony and some other ones. Anyway, it was announced, I think last week, that not only was Warner going to drop their case, they were going together. Like Warner was investing in Suno. And so now there's a partnership between Warner Music Group and Suno.
Hey.
So
can't beat them.
Join them.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They just announced today too, I think, the new Equalizer. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's getting deep, man.
Dude, it is getting crazy. It'll be interesting to
those
see.
Those of you that don't know, why don't you shout out your
Valentine Michael Smith.
Michael Smith on Spotify.
At Spotify. Check it out.
Our goal for 2026 is to get Nathan enough money paid out to buy coffee.
One
coffee.
I need at least
to like $7.
Yeah, I need to get up. I'm at $2.50. So get me up to $7. Then I can pull the money out and go buy a latte.
Yeah. We want to document that.
And it will be a delicious latte.
Yeah. You're paying $10 a month for Suno.
Yes. Actually, I did the annual.
Oh, okay.
So now I have...
So probably less.
Yeah, it was probably like 15, but I got like the max plan and paid up front. So
the goal is to get at least that subscription.
Yeah,
paid
that would
for,
be nice.
Right?
That would be great. Break even. If I can just break even, I'll be happy.
That'd be so cool.
So, but
it's got some bangers too.
It's fun. But what's interesting too is I've been exploring like the Suno subreddit and all this kind of stuff, and And some people are really worried about this partnership because they're saying that while it looks promising on the outside, that, you know, the catch is going to be that they're going to sort of make sure that certain voices aren't available or, you know, easy.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to sort of revisit a lot of contracts that they have with artists for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about data with another client today, right? Data was a big discussion today, and how, and I'd love for you to talk about your prediction again.
Sure.
Of the data piece. But this client was basically saying that they're going to be a broker, not a broker, but a marketplace for data, because at the end of the day, these LLMs and these models need training data, right? Yeah. It's like a child. You got to feed it knowledge.
Yes,
teach it.
Exactly.
And so once you run out of books and lectures, what are you feeding it? Like,
it still needs to keep going to school.
Right, it plateaus. So imagine all the data that's just sitting around for years and years and years. And so you talk about Sony or Warner or whoever it is. I mean, think about the catalogs that are sitting there that they can be feeding the Suno, right? And have licenses, you know, to be able to do this.
Right.
But my bigger question is, where did they get the data, training data to begin with?
Yeah, well, that's
right.
Yeah, they're not talking about that.
No. Because it's pretty darn good.
It's really good.
And you can pretty much reproduce any style of music that exists.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Yeah. Like there's a contest.
Like, where did it learn that?
Right.
Where did it get it? Where did it source it?
Yeah. It knows, like, you know.
So, yeah. So you might as well join them, right?
Might as well join them.
Yeah.
And I foresee a time, like so pivoting kind of what you're talking about, where Suno won't be the only gig in town. Like there will be other versions, and there are other companies or platforms that do this. But at a certain point, like it's going to get competitive, and and I was saying earlier, it's going to sort of be like Netflix, or all the streaming platforms, where the content will dictate which one you sort of go to and stay on, right? So for instance, like Suno will probably have some deal with some artists on their Warner label. It could be like, hey, you know, we're going to start with old people who are dead, who can't produce, you know, so we're going to do Frank Sinatra. You can use the Frank Sinatra voice, right? So if that's the point, like if we reach that point, you know, then it's going to be like, oh, I want to use Suno specific things, right? You can only get that on Suno. You can't get it on the other ones. So I'm going to stay on Suno, right? And then the other ones are going to go, okay, well, we need someone to pull people over. Okay, so somehow they get a deal with Justin Bieber or something, you know? And all of a sudden now, you know, this other one's got that. And so there's going to be this fight for who's got what content, you know, who's got what voice, who's got what.
Like even you, right? When you're writing songs, you have a specific artist or sound voice that's in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so the best you can do is to try to, prompt what that voice sounds like without explicitly saying the artist's name.
Right.
Which it won't let you.
Right.
And
eventually
you've gotten pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine that you can just say
use
Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Or Posty.
Yeah. Like give it
Drake or whoever.
Official.
Right. And then now they're covering your song.
Yes.
That's kind of a game changer.
That's kind of a game changer.
I think artists that get it will allow it.
Sure.
Be like,
won't be for everyody, but enough of them will do it.
Put me everywhere. I don't care. Right.
But I mean, look at Netflix, for instance, right? Like, what's his name? Dude, who's that one guy? He's on like, he does like 80 shows. I'm trying to think of
shows?
This one comedian. What's his name?
Adam Sandler?
No.
I mean, he had like a 20 movie deal or something.
Maybe something like that. But one of these guys, like, they're in like everything. And I'm also thinking of, I'm also thinking of Apple TV. I think that's the one, actually.
Oh, then you're talking about, what's his name? My mind's blanking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in, what's that? Platonic.
What's his? Oh, Seth
Godin?
Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he's in every comedy, every Apple show.
Every there's one like constantly. And these guys, so it's like there's gonna be the people who are like, I'm just gonna run this Netflix thing into the ground.
Yeah.
Right. I don't care. Like, just sign me up for the next one, next one. So there's gonna be those people, but then there's gonna be those actors and actresses who are like, I'm not doing a Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, no.
More
You know?
purists, like
Yeah. And then you have people like Harrison Ford who's like, just sign me up. I'll do it.
whatever.
Like, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I think you're gonna have those people who kind of go one way or the other. But this also goes into the world of what we're talking about with this data.
Yeah.
And there's gonna come a point where even like the LLMs that we use, like OpenAI, like ChatGPT or Gemini, where I think at some point they're gonna reach this plateau where they're gonna be like, okay, we know pretty much everything there is to know. Everything that we've read, every book, we've watched every movie, we know everything there is to sort of know that makes a difference at this point. So the difference in these models then will be like, well, what kind of new content can they create or co-create? And my prediction is that people will be essentially will be working for AI. So right now, like, we're using it as a tool to make our jobs easier. And I think in the future, the equation will flip and people will be producing content
to train and to
trade, right? Because think about it. I mean, even like scientific research, right? At a certain point, AI is going to say, hey, you know what? I have this theory on how to solve how to cure cancer, but I'm inside a machine. I can't run the tests. I can't do the thing, but you can. So here I'm going to, here's a test, and they're going to say, I have the money to fund it, because I'm generating cash over here. And so there's going to be projects for people to do that are sort of going to feed back into it, And so, it could be, my prediction too is that, imagine this, where like you sit down, let's say you're like, okay, I need a job, right? So you go interview at, OpenAI or whatever. And AI asks you this like interview questions and stuff like that, does an aptitude test and says like, you know what? You're really good at this. Would you be interested in becoming like an expert at that? And you're like, sure, why not? And so for the next 2 months, you're doing an online course fed by that machine, right? It's like going to train you from being like, it's like you're naturally gifted in this. Now all of a sudden in 2 months, like you're as good as anybody in their field in it, right? And then they're like, okay, great. Now I have a job for you. I need you to go do this, and push the envelope of what it knows or what it has something it wants to achieve. And then sort of kind of gives you that work to do. And it'll pay you because why? Because it's going to monetize that information and that data into its model.
Yeah.
And so we sort of become employees.
You're telling me we're going to work for them.
Oh yeah. That's what I predict. Because work at a certain point, it's going to be like diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Like the idea that your job is better done by you or a machine is going to start to become really not existent, but there will be then the jobs that the machine can't perform. And that's going to be the uprise of a new economy of like, we're actually doing the things that the machine can't do. So it'll be sort of this switch off.
Imagine there's like the gig economy, but for AI.
Yeah.
Instead of, because Uber's, DoorDash, Instacart, those are all going to be done by robots.
Sure. Yeah.
There's already self-driving cars.
Yeah.
There's already self-delivering
drones and everything's going to happen.
And all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So what are all these people in the gig economy supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, they can work for the AI.
Right.
Continue to train it.
Right.
Like you said, by figuring out what it is they do best that the AI needs.
Yeah.
That's missing.
Right.
Right.
Like I need data on this or that.
Yeah, or that. And be like, well, I need you to go around, town and take pictures of whatever.
Dude, think about this stuff,
crap, right?
Like so
Why not?
Waymo's coming to LA, right?
Yeah.
They're starting to do it. And what happens before they do it? They have humans driving the Waymo cars around.
Yeah.
Training it.
Yeah.
Why? Because it can't do it on its own first. So there you go. That's the first example where humans are training.
I think the robo-taxis, when they launched in Austin, also had
human drivers.
The human drivers.
Exactly. Like that's
assisting.
That's it. Like humans are going to assist the AI
until they're not needed.
until they're not needed.
Yeah.
And then they'll go off and do something else or do another city or whatever.
Yeah.
But their job is going to be to help the AI and not
That's right.
AI help the person.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That's going to be nuts. That's going to be nuts.
Totally is.
You know? So, but I think the benefit though is that again, like, and one of the interesting examples, have you ever watched Her? You ever see that movie, Her?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I have to watch it again. But like his job, you remember what his job is every day? He goes in and writes cards, like hand writes cards, like greeting cards for people. He's like he comes out with poetry or like, and that's his job, is to like handwrite these cards. And the reason I bring it up is someone was saying the other day, like if someone from like, 100 years ago or 200 years ago came here today and looked at what we do for a living, they would be like, that's not even work. Like you sit there
Yeah.
and you click around and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
yeah, work, and you're like, you go home after that, like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Right. And so I think in the future of our future, we're going to be looking at that going, what? That's a job? You're doing what? You're typing what into the machine? You're talking to it and telling it what? Like you're telling it bedtime stories and that's a job? Like I don't understand. It's not going to really make that much sense to us because we're going to just be, we're going to be like, well, what are you doing? It's like, what do you mean? No one has to do that anymore.
We're over time here, but
All right.
let me leave you with this.
Okay.
There's going to be, somebody's going to come out with a thing, a product. Just like think of how Sora is giving us the ability, mostly men, by the way,
Yes.
to come up with the
85%,
stupidest things you could ever think of,
Yeah.
right? What is Sora doing with that?
Mhm.
We're giving it
Yes.
training data, right?
Absolutely.
Because what are we coming up with? The stupidest
Things, gags,
that you can imagine that
memes.
the AI inherently can't do.
It doesn't know.
Because it doesn't have those life experiences
Right.
that humans have, right?
Yeah.
That have been passed down to us and all that. So you combine that into, I want to see a video of that thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because we're creative people by nature, right?
Yes.
So people are going to come up with ways for you, like you said, that you sit there and talk to this thing all day. Like, that's a job? Well, it could be. But also imagine there's just going to be a thing where it could be like, hey, upload your whole life story to your loved ones.
Yeah.
For free. Or an incentive to do that,
Yeah.
to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're putting your whole thing in there. Like, this is, I was born here and when I grew up this, and then, Slider and Montwood and El Paso and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden this AI is like, ooh, this is good stuff, right?
Yes.
And then you multiply that by 100 million people. All of a sudden this thing is like,
Goldmine.
dude, I have so much
Yeah.
data
Yeah.
I can, do whatever with, right?
Mhm.
And so I could see it, more of that coming out.
Yeah.
Like the Sora model, but with other things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you can upload your whole life story. You can, whatever it is, leave this thing for your kids or whatever. And you're like, I'll gladly do that because I want to do that.
Yeah. Because now,
Instead, it's just like,
right.
you're just feeding it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Here's a weird prediction based on that, which I just thought of. Imagine a future job where your job is just to sit and watch videos.
Mm.
And then it just watches you watching the videos. And it's like, maybe you got a little probe, stuck to your head, and it's just measuring whether or not you like what you're watching. And it's generating it. And it's trying to figure out what you like.
Yeah.
What people like. And it's like, no, I need that data.
That's 100% going to be a job.
Right?
Yes.
Your job is to sit there. Like you fit a demographic.
No, and it's going to be not sit there. It's just going to load it just like you do now.
Yeah.
Watch,
Yeah.
But this time you're going to allow it to look at you.
Right.
Because it's going to pay you or
It's going to
whatever.
pay you. You're going to be like on Instagram or whatever. Instead of like wasting your time, it's going to be like, okay, you earned 3 credits today for watching these videos.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming, folks. You better be ready.
Yeah.
Strap in. All right.
Peace out.
Later.
Sightbox, unbox, where we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Captain AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.